CP squared has 51 minus degrees of freedom, making I got hungry and I ate it. We're Americans and we only like competition, okay? I'm eating and I'm reading a book. And this waitress comes up.
All right, folks, we are going to go ahead and get started. So welcome to another Drunk News Report with Slim Cyborg and the Stream Pervs. Let's go ahead and bring in our co-host and then play the intros, and then we will get to saying hello to the cinema chats.
But some people without brains do an awful lot of talking, don't they?
Yes, I guess you're right.
Yes, I guess you're right. How are you doing?
I'm doing better. Yeah, I'm doing better.
Good.
Yeah. How's that dumbass doing? That's work.
I'm doing okay. It's the day before Murder Turkey Day, so I mean.
Yeah, let's murder turkey. Yeah.
So let's go ahead and get in.
It's not like in history there was also a genocide or whatever.
Yes, which we'll most likely talk about tomorrow for it.
Yeah.
But let's do our intros, and we'll talk about what today is, because it is a day of the year. And I found out there's another version of it that I didn't know about, but everybody was talking about today. So we'll get into that. So let's go ahead and let's start with our intros.
Disclaimer: the views and opinions expressed in this program are those of the speakers, commentators, experts, and/or hosts. They do not explicitly or necessarily reflect nor represent the channel's policy or the views held by this channel or broadcaster. The broadcaster or its channel cannot be held accountable for all or any views expressed during this program.
It's just like Killer Cop 4, but she's got Hema instead of fry cook balls. I need you, Action Bastard! Action Bastard, I need you! Action Bastard, I need you! Why am I wasting time dancing?
You want to know why? Because the world is fucking flat, dog. And everything that you see up there, as far as like planets or stars, yeah, guess what, dude? It's fucking fake. It's just lights up there. The government put those lights up there so you dummies could just act like there's something up there.
Wait a second, are you a flat earther?
Call a crackhead.
You're stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're stupid. All right, dog, how are you doing?
I'm doing good, mate.
Good. I did.
I made it. I brainless.
Awesome. All right, let's say hello to the cinema chats. All right, quick, and we have an Oliman.
Hey, Ollie.
Ollie, man!
Stupidity.
Stop the
Hey, stop!
And Al Trucker.
Hey, little fucker, Trucker.
Yeah.
So we know that people will slowly start filtering in here, but we're going to be changing the way that we do this intro things to get hopefully more clicks and views from people that watch later. I know that we were doing that stuff to get people in here slowly, but I'm trying to get more views and hopefully more subscribers. So we're changing things up just a little bit. And let's go ahead and start with what today's is, because today's is. All right, anyways.
Yeah, what he said.
So today is Turtle Adoption Day.
Oh.
So if you have an opportunity to adopt a turtles, please do. Lancashire Day. So everybody who lives in Lancashire.
Lancashire.
Lancashire. Sure.
Lancashire.
Not Shire. Sure.
Sure.
Like a sure, okay, sure. And then National Bavarian Cream Pie Day.
Oh.
Oh,
Nice.
I don't mind making some cream pies. Never mind.
I have not had a Bavarian cream pie in a long time. Anyways, the next one is Drinksgiving Day,
Yay.
which is a
Drinking.
holiday that is based around you and your mates getting together the day before Thanksgiving to party before you have to deal with your family for Thanksgiving in the Americas. The next one is Pins and Needles Day, a stage show where ordinary folks sing about life's ups and downs while sewing a slice of real life with a musical twist. And it's also people just sewing day is part of it when I was reading more into it. So there's our days of the today's of the things and stuff. And we have a 5 given membership from Stop the Stupidity. So thank you very much for that. And Brainless, if you will read those names off, if you don't mind. And then
Names. Then we need a chat. That is a Jojo, a Charles Arnold, a left-handed Jedi, Scott Duke, and Tank Girl's Pet Dragon.
Awesome. Welcome to becoming a member. I don't know if any of you are here, but because you are a new member, here is your intro or your thank you, your thing. I don't know what it's called anymore. So thank you very much, Stupidity.
Yes, thank you very much.
Yes. So now, if you've not voted in the poll, go ahead and vote in the poll in the side of my chats.
Yeah, if you've not been hanging on my poll, never mind.
Well, all right. So while we're waiting for people to vote, we're gonna go ahead and watch a couple of awesome things first, and then we will get into the meat and potatoes of these subjects that I have planned for today. So this is the first thing that I want to go over. And this happens a lot, honestly, but it's just very rare that people are able to get video images of this happening. But this happens when a volcano is about to erupt, is erupting, and also after.
Oh, yeah.
Because how lightning works is there's hot and cold and other things mixing together to cause these visuals, let's put it that way, right? And noises. If you don't know, most of the time, if not always, I think it's just most of the time, lightning actually comes from the ground up, because it's the motion of something that causes the reaction, and it actually goes up. But sometimes it looks like it's going down, even though for some reason it's all kind of the opposite. But our eyes and brain see it differently or something. I don't know. 100%. If I got that wrong, somebody in the side chat tell me I'm a dumbass. But let's watch this.
Slim, no matter what, you're a dumbass.
Well, we obviously know that for sure. But look at this. So this is, I know you can't really tell, but this is a volcano, and it is, I don't know where the volcano is. Hold on. In Antigua, Guatemala is where this happened on the 17th. So
Guacamole. Okay.
Yeah. It was August 17th. Sorry. I thought this was more recent, but that's okay.
That's okay. That's okay, little boy. Ah.
Look at how amazing that is.
Yeah, man. Epic.
And that's not Zeus sitting on top of the mountain doing that. That is how nature
That's
works.
Zeus jacking off. Oh, hey, Victoria. You come in.
Hey, Victoria. Yes, exactly. Okay, all right. So let's get into one more little thingy-mabobber. And then we'll get into some of the meats and potatoes of what we have for today. Did we go over the space radiation robots or the dummies?
Nope.
That
does not ring a bell.
Okay, let's do this first.
Some say traveling to other planets is how humans ensure the survival of our species. But leaving the protective bubble of the Earth means exposing ourselves to the dangers of space radiation.
Radiation exposure is one of the main hazards of human spaceflight.
On the Artemis 1 mission, 2 radiation-detecting phantoms were launched into space.
I just got to say this really quick. That's one of my first ex-wives. But anyways.
To find out more about the risks to astronauts of the future.
Many of the hazards of human spaceflight are immediate, very straightforward, immediate hazards to life and limb. And radiation is a hazard that often will come and get you later. Space radiation has 2 sources. One is this.
From my dick and no.
Hey, Thor.
Hey, Demon Orb. Yeah, lightning that goes both ways. Bound chicka bow wow. Yeah, exactly. Totes. But yes, let's crack on with this. And this is going to be an amazing tool for sure, especially if I mean, obviously, for doing tests so that we can hopefully prevent it or make sure that the shells of our spacecrafts can withstand the radiation thing, but also hopefully it has like a blinking thing on it. And I know for tests, it should look like a human just for the beep of it. But hopefully they can figure out sensors that, like, if for some reason something's happening, I don't know how they can protect themselves at the time. Maybe add a couple more umbrellas that will like open up on the outside of the spacecraft or something. I don't know, but at least now hopefully we're finding this out in like a data-driven way, in a certain way, and hopefully protecting them in the future.
Yeah, but like I do think like the shape does matter with how the
radiation reflects.
Radiation, yeah. Sure. Like if you just put one sensor there, like it's also like how much goes around that compared to a human body. So
especially when you have these gorgeous boobs.
Boobies.
Okay, anyways. Okay, I'm done drooling over robotic looking thingy bobbers. Anyways,
very straightforward, immediate hazards to life and limb. And radiation is.
I totally need to get laid. Anyways, let's crack on.
Is a hazard that will come and get you later. Space radiation has 2 sources.
Radiation travels in a straight line. Is it affected by gravity at all?
So actually, hold on, dog. Your question is answered in this information. So gravity or an electrical field will cause it to bend itself around and away from, and then it will go straight again. Normally, it will just go straight until a electrical or magnetic field gets in its way, and then it will do other thingies of the mabobbers, just like it's showing in.
I usually go straight
until I meet a really good looking lady with a bit. Never mind. We'll talk about that later. Let's keep going.
One is this ever-present background of galactic cosmic rays. And these are highly energetic particles that are formed by all sorts of interstellar processes, many of them by supernova. And they traveled a long way to get here. And because they're so energetic, they're very difficult to shield against.
the highest risk is associated with cancer, and
Yeah.
they could.
And I guess some astronauts or people that were like on the ISS are beginning to start having, especially ones that went on there at a very, very young age. So, or long ago, like, when it first started.
Yeah, they had babies on there.
No, that's not what I meant. What I meant is they went there when it first began, because ISS has been around since what year? Somebody tell us what year ISS. It's not old, but it's not new, right? Anyways, let's crack on.
Could also cause degenerative diseases of different organ systems.
Astronauts are more likely to develop.
What?
98.
Yeah, and so it's been up there for a hot minute. They're almost 30 years. Almost 30 years, right? Like a couple of years shy of that many years.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's been a hot second that it's been there. So, once again, the astronauts or the space explorers that went up there in the beginning, which I think they might talk about this a little bit, like they're saying, they developed cataracts at a young age due to the galactic cosmic rays.
Cataracts at a young age due to galactic cosmic rays. They may also increase the likelihood of atherosclerosis and cognitive decline.
So that's what they're hopefully going to be using these robots to take in information like light, ultraviolet light, radiation, and a handful of other things. Yeah, ultraviolence. No, I'm just kidding. That is what's it called? From the super milk, the Moloko from what's it called? Orange or Agent Orange. But anyways, Agent Orange is what I was talking about. But anyways, so once again, instead of having these little itty bitty sensors that are like this, those layers and that a bust of what seemed to be like a female, because they did give it boobs. But anyways, those layers are going to have different sensory systems, and you put them in a certain place. Now they're going to be exposed to the radiation, different levels, to be able to take in that information, and also like oxygen and a handful of other sensors are going to be put in those layers. And so now you're going to get a comprehensive diagnosis of what's going on inside of these spacecrafts, so that you can hopefully help make it so that these people, explorers, space explorers, are going to be healthier by like putting more shielding, or making sure that like they have like maybe like wearing goggles more, which maybe would suck, but making sure their eyes aren't being degenerated because they're so close to the light rays of the sun that if you accidentally walked through like a sun ray, coming through a window, and you looked barely at it, you burn your fucking retinas. I don't know why that was happening 100%, but my guesstimation would be something like that. So it's just ways for them to test these things so they can make it so it's safer for this. And eventually there will be commercial space travel-esque type things where I don't think you're going to be able to like stay on the moon, but in like 50 years, you're probably going to be able to go and be in a hotel that is like the ISS and stay there.
It's probably going to be the ISS.
Well, I feel like there
are plans to when the governments don't want to use the ISS anymore, that it's going to be commercial, or that there are going to be commercial modules added to it.
Yeah, well, I feel like there's going to be a handful of really rich people with certain types of, let's say, cruise ship moguls, like somebody like Elon Musk, and also hotel developers. I feel like there's going to be a handful of them to get together and make their own version of the ISS in some way, shape, or form. Maybe just with like 5 rooms, and then they'll expand it. But anyways, the only problem...
The first thing is probably going to be owned by Elon.
Yes.
Yes.
But I think it's going to be a conglomerate of multiple companies coming together to make one of those things. That would be a place where Elon Musk's SpaceX blah 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 gets you to that, and then you stay there for a very, very short amount of time. Because if they can only give you 5 rooms, 10 rooms, 20 rooms, 50 rooms at once, if they can get enough people to want to pay for it, they're going to want you to be there for like 1 night, maybe 2, and they're just going to keep going back. But anyways, we'll see. Zero G gravity sex sounds fun, but it's actually very, very horrible. To the best of my knowledge, sex has never happened in near orbit or out of orbit as of so far. But I would love to see porn of that if there was a way to see zero gravity orgies or something like that. I'm totally down to watch that. But anyways, let's crack on. Yeah, my father was exposed to Agent Orange as well, and I have medical conditions that they believe are connected to that as well. But let's crack on.
No sex in space.
The other kind of space radiation effect we have.
Yeah, and it's really, really difficult, just like it's very, very difficult to use the loo or the restroom, the toilet, the water closet, all of the different words. I don't know. I'm sure I could say 5 more words for the restroom. But anyways. So as of right now, nobody has done that, and I get it if you're in a professional setting, but I mean,
as soon as it's gonna be public, you know, like I think it'll happen in like 2 flights.
Whoever does it first is going to make millions of dollars. The first space porn is going to make so much goddamn money. And yes, Demon Orb, you're going to need a bunch of straps for sure. You're literally going to have to strap yourself to the other person. And to the best of my knowledge, I don't know if you can actually get a hard-on in space. Can you?
Of course. Yeah, of course. It's just blood getting
can blood force itself into that space
what do you think it does when you get a hard on over here?
No, but in close to zero, and while you're floating, can you? And I know that they have some gravity, but like once again, is that a thing? I don't know. I heard there was. Well, I heard there was a difficulty in keeping it hard, supposedly.
Yeah.
Somebody prove me wrong, but I heard.
But
that
like, can you imagine if you end up being the first person conceived in space? You will have a weird fucking life.
I'm gonna guess. You know, because they tried growing plants, they've tried doing everything, and I'm gonna guess behind closed doors that there has been sexual tests in space.
No. Again.
No. You know what the thing is? Like I think everybody that has gone there is married.
Well, hold on right quick. The other thing is, if you're in near zero gravity, and I know you can put on the fake gravity in some of these things, and when they're rotating through, you know, like the ISS technically has near, but how does the vagina wet itself? If it doesn't have gravity pushing itself to a certain direction, what does it do? Do you just have beads? Hold on. Do you just have beads of just like wet moisture, you know, vagina moisture, yeast floating around?
What do you go down that road for?
Like if you're the one having sex, okay.
And I don't think space would stop it.
once again, what we're talking, that's what I'm trying to like see, like, would that be or would that not? I don't know. Like, so that's another thing. Like, that's another reason why maybe sex doesn't work. Because, like, say you try to put the lube, you try to lube her up with some kind of lube and it just floats away from her vagina. Well, now you don't have lube on her vagina.
You put on your
Can you imagine a space queef? Okay, now let's keep going. Okay, I went too far. I know. Let's keep going. Let's.
And Victoria, like, yeah, but I like if you'd say the first person conceived in space, like technically we've all been conceived in space because Earth is in space.
That's why I was saying inner and outer orbit. That's why I was putting them in those terms. Because, I mean, your mom's vagina definitely is a space, and you came out of it. But okay, let's keep going.
Then we're not even talking about Pip's black hole.
Yeah, and we can make this so much worse. But let's keep blowing on.
Is radiation from the sun.
These are solar particle events, and they consist mostly of energetic protons. They come in a burst when there's an eruption on the sun.
This solar radiation can also cause acute radiation syndrome, which induces nausea, fatigue, and can result in immune suppression.
We had this galactic cosmic radiation and the solar particle events. But what shields us against radiation on Earth is the magnetic field, the Earth's magnetic field.
Outside of low Earth orbit into this.
And so, Dog, once again, that's when these particles do not go in straight lines and they will bend and ebb and flow around.
Well, it is basically also electromagnetic radiation,
Yeah, well, that's all
the radiation is basically the same thing, just different wavelengths.
Yeah. Okay. So really quick, let's go over this because I mean, pretty much we get what's going on. I mean, right? I mean, we understand this. We're not flat earthers. So, did we talk about Rice University celebrates 10 years of exploring supernatural encounters?
Oh yeah, they documented the stupid shit.
Yeah, I believe
they made a collection of them.
Yeah, I said like, whoa, what a waste of money.
Yeah.
Well, no, because they didn't. Them holding it in a certain space, maybe, and then kind of climate controlling it.
Just delete all that shit. Like, it is just so fucking stupid. Like,
no, because hold on, no, because it is part of a history to remember not to do it. Because remember, history will repeat itself if we do not remember it. So we have to
what did you say, American? What did you say, American?
I know. It happens. It happens every 4 to 8 years. It flips, and we're back at where we were again. Unfortunately, it's with the Trumper. But let's crack on. So let's go with. I don't think we did this yet, but if we did, screw it.
It's been 1 week since the garden fire turned dangerously close to homes in Fallbrook. Crews point to a low-tech piece of equipment that helps save the day. ABC 10 News was there.
Did we go over the water well?
We were surprised how fake she looks.
She looks very fake. Okay, so did we do cancer vaccines?
Nope.
I don't remember that.
Okay, let's go over this, and then if you've not voted in the poll, go ahead and please vote in the poll, and we're going to close that out as soon as we get on watching this. But listen to this.
Our laboratory is primarily focused on developing ways to stimulate the immune system to attack cancer.
So their vaccine is going to be like something that's never been done before, but it's going to be a way that they can get it to for different cancers. And he's going to explain a little bit more, but I just want to interject and pretend that I'm a smart person and say pretty much what he's saying. But let him tell you how this vaccine is going to be different than other vaccines. It's more like what is happening with the COVID vaccine.
What makes it different than an infectious disease vaccine is we have to target a protein that your body is making naturally. And we do that by defining regions of that protein that are foreign to the immune system. We can now sample a cancer from somebody. We can sequence that very rapidly, and we can say, oh, these are proteins that we think would look abnormal. And then we can formulate those into what we call personalized vaccines. And that's what we're doing.
A personalized vaccine. And it feels like they're kind of wording this a weird way, especially with the anti-vax communities that we have. I feel like you could call them something else, but it's amazing that if they find a cancer in you, right, they can take those small cells from that. They can turn around and make that into a way to re-inject that back into you so that your body's immune system will fight the ones that you just got put back into you. Just like with what you're doing with like a flu vaccine. Like he said, it's not exactly the same, but the concept is technically the same. But instead of them making a vaccine for this certain type of the flu, right? Or this version of COVID, now it's personally for you to get your own vaccine to now fight cancers.
And so trying to figure out, ways that we can improve the immune system in people with cancer so that they can continually fight their disease while they're being treated or after their treatment. We want to use vaccines.
And this is from the Mayo Clinic. So the cancer clinic pretty much is who we just watched that video from. So let's go ahead and do this. Let's look at what our poll looks like. Okay, let me go to the side of my test right quick.
Oh, yeah, okay. It's still soft. It's not hard yet.
Okay.
Oh.
No, it's fine. No, of course. Yeah. Well, yeah. Okay, here we go. Let's get to the poll.
Well, yeah, the electric jet engine has won it.
Woohoo!
That's what she said.
40%, and the other three are 20% each.
But that's probably
somebody break the goddamn motherfucking tie. Come on, Beavis and Butthead. Come on, somebody break the tie.
Break someone's tie? What?
Son of a bee sting. Okay, so while we're waiting for that. I was going to play this for tomorrow, but fuck it. And I know most of us here aren't American, but here we go to give hope to the people that didn't vote for Trump in the Americas.
Yeah, I need to open it on my work phone. I got my work phone here, so let's see what we're gonna
share it. So, anyways, sorry.
Oh yeah, that'll help. That would
be useful. I know. I forgot that I closed it, which I don't know why I did because I'm stupid. Here we go.
Thanksgiving, family coming together, millions traveling across this. Some conversations will be tough, but you're tough too. You may have been on the losing side of this election, but you are on the right side of history. We're still in this fight, and so are you. You may not feel thankful here, but America is still here, and still a nation of enormous blessings. Yes, we'll have to fight for her, but she'll always be worth fighting for. It won't be easy, but America is stronger than him, stronger than hate, bigger than one election. So this week, let's give thanks, and next week, let's give them hell.
All right. So let's see. If we got broken. Here we go. Let's end the poll this way.
If there's going to be another election.
There's definitely going to be one because he is going to, and I know I'm always wrong, obviously, but this cabinet is going to destroy itself. He is too old. He's going to probably not make it through the 4 years. And
then we get J fucking P.
I know. I don't want it either. No, I know.
We
I
get
don't want it
jumbo
either.
cake.
But then once Trump is out, hold on. JD Vance is a fucking crazy nut job evangelical, but he's only doing this because of Trump. As soon as Trump dies, then he will still be crazy, but it won't be as crazy. But let's crack on. So, electric jet engine is number one. And Brainless, if you don't mind, please put that in the side of the chat.
Yeah.
So let's see. Here we go with the plasma jet engine. And like, this would be amazing if this actually works. But once again, this is one of those things that is a test.
Oh, but like
product, a test theory. Go ahead.
With just electricity, you can actually get quite a bit of thrust. That really, it is that is quite interesting actually, and it's not that hard to make.
See that in cars.
Isn't that why I take those sex pills? Is so I can turn energy into thrust. Anyways, let's keep going. Let's keep going.
Jet engines don't need fossil fuels, but instead use electricity and the air around them to generate thrust. This is the revolutionary potential of plasma jet engines, a groundbreaking innovation in clean energy and advanced propulsion systems. Plasma jet engines work by converting air into plasma using high-powered electrical energy. Plasma, the fourth state of matter, is created when gas.
Yeah, the fourth state of matter. Bow, chicka, bow, wow. All right, never. I'm sorry. Okay, let's.
Are heated and energized to the point that their molecules ionize. Unlike traditional jet engines that burn fuel, plasma engines ionize air to produce a stream of plasma. This
would have been one of those things that, like, if we went from building the pyramids to having this technology and it actually worked, and we were making jet engines right after the Egyptians, the Mayans, the other cultures were building pyramids, I would have said, yes, aliens came down and gave us the technology. But this is barely even a concept. And once again, it's a concept. Let's see if it even works in 3 years. I mean, they've been working on this for a couple of years now, and they've kind of refined it to being this. And let's hope it actually works. But once again, this is in the test phases. This is in concept, just like a lot of things we go over for Drunk News.
Plasma is then directed out of a nozzle to generate forward momentum. The process begins with air intake, similar to traditional jets, where air is pulled in through the front intake. Next, the air enters the ionization chamber, where it is subjected to a powerful electrical current. This current energizes the gas, stripping electrons and creating plasma. Using magnetic fields, the plasma is then accelerated and directed out through the nozzle.
And the other thing that I don't know if they're going to talk about, but the other thing is that could be another thingy-mabobber, you never know, is the temperature range. Like, could this happen in Antarctica? Could this happen in Alaska?
But with this, like, the problem with this compared to just ion thrusters, this will not work in space. Because you need the air.
So this only works in the atmosphere under the
that like, do realize, like, if you're in the atmosphere, you need not just efficiency, but you also need just thrust, the amount of thrust you can generate, because like the ion thrusters, like they have not that much thrust. But are very efficient. So for long travel, like if you keep accelerating a little bit, like eventually you'll go quite fast. But like that don't work over here because.
And then really quick, speaking of that devil, how far up in the atmosphere can you go before that doesn't work, because there's not enough air molecules for it to cause that to happen, right? So again, this is experimental.
do this with just
on the ground.
No, but like you could bring a gas with you. That's of course an option. Like,
yeah, you could just bring some nitrous oxide up there with you and you take it while it warms.
I would guess like that there's probably certain gases that are easier to turn into plasma than others.
Yeah. So once again, this is a concept, just like we always talk about. But let's crack on just a little bit more with this, and we'll get to the next subject.
The high-speed plasma exiting the nozzle creates thrust to propel the engine forward. Key components of a plasma jet engine include the electric power supply, ionization chamber, and magnetic nozzle. The electric power supply is crucial as plasma engines need a substantial electrical source. Advances.
And like, bro, if you like totally made it like look like one of these like plasma balls, like when you're flying, it would look like so cool, dude. All right, sorry.
Yeah, I want one of those again.
I'm sure you can get one at hell of motherfucking cheap because they're at like all the Spencers and goddamn all the malls here still.
Source. Advances in compact battery technologies or small nuclear reactors may make these engines more feasible. The ionization chamber contains electrodes in a high voltage current that ionizes the incoming air. The magnetic nozzle utilizes magnetic fields to direct and accelerate the plasma to produce thrust.
And Stefan thinks, I think we pretty much understand because they literally told us the same thing over and over and over again. But anyways, let's crack on to
Hey, Skits.
Get into playing our channel sponsors promo. Yes, wouldn't we all like to get inside that half, you know what I mean? Or have him get, never mind, we'll talk about that later. Ouch, that gotta hurt. Welcome, Skits, to the insanity that we have. Just like always.
Awesome dude.
So we're gonna do the human washing machine next. And you're welcome, everybody. Once again, we did something that was close to this, but the one that we did before, like 2 years ago, maybe, your head was outside of it. This one, just wait, there's more.
A company in Osaka, Japan is developing a human washing machine that aims to revolutionize relaxation. Created by Science, a showerhead manufacturer, this device resembles a cockpit where a bather sits and is enveloped in water. It uses sensors to monitor the person's pulse and biological data to adjust the water temperature accordingly, ensuring a customized experience.
So, it adjusts its temperature to your... I don't understand what is going on, and I know I understand what those words meant in that sentence and a half, but how does, I mean, where are the sensors and what's going on and who put where and what and up what hole, and Jesus, I'm a little scared about that part of it.
It's a high-tech douche machine shaped like a fucking Star Trek shuttle.
That's the only thing I can think, especially with this implement. These are the handles, right?
Yeah.
Your little screen. What is this pole? What is going on with that? Jesus.
The screen is behind the thing.
That's, you sit on top of that, obviously, is from the best of my knowledge, because the seat is right here. Why is there this pole right here? Oh my God. See that?
You got something to jerk off.
Because like it's not like it's a car that needs you to shift from first gear to second gear to third gear. So what is that thing? I am so scared about what this thing is. Okay, anyways, all right, let's crack on. Let's keep going.
The machine also projects calming images onto its transparent cover to enhance relaxation. Named Mirai Ningen Center Cookie, Human Washing Machine of the Future, it is set to debut at an Osaka Expo in April, where up to 8 people can enjoy a 15-minute session daily, though the device may not be sold to the public anytime soon.
Daily, they only let you go in there once a day. Even if you wanted to go multiple times a day, they're like, nah, you fucking dirty ass bastard. You can only go once a day.
A home version is in development, designed to wash the mind as well as the body.
It's a mind washer. Jesus Christ, son of a bee sting. I can't believe what we go over sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Like this is insanely stupid. Okay, I thought this was going to be number one, but y'all didn't pick this, but to be number one. But let's do this. I'm very, very interested in this, and maybe I did not word it properly or I did not hype it up properly, but that's not how the poll
world
works
of medical-
exactly. So here we go, and here is how they can 3D print. They can high speed 3D print human tissue, bone, brain matter, and also organ matter. Just
medical
listen.
science, the ability to replicate human tissues, especially complex structures like brain.
I am going to step away for just a hot second and be right back. So just listen to how awesome this is if it works. And I think they've been doing this for a couple years, and I think they've gotten it to pretty much work. So hopefully soon we'll be able to, if we have organ failure, we should be able to get a 3D printed organ from our DNA, if I'm understanding this properly, but let them explain it.
Tissue or bone has always been a challenging frontier, but now researchers at the University of Melbourne have developed a cutting-edge 3D bioprinter that's set to transform how we study diseases, test drugs, and approach regenerative medicine. This isn't your typical 3D printer. Traditional bioprinters have relied on slow, layer-by-layer techniques that painstakingly deposit cells, one layer at a time. This method not only takes time, but can also damage fragile cell structures, limiting the complexity of tissues that can be printed. But this new high-speed bioprinter is changing all of that. At the heart of this breakthrough are two major innovations: acoustic wave technology and an optical-based system. By using acoustic waves, researchers can manipulate cells with incredible.
Yeah, by using acoustic waves, bounce. Oh, sorry, never mind. I know that's not, that was inappropriate. I'm sorry, that was not. But isn't that kind of cool as of right now so far?
Yeah.
So let's
Yeah,
let
definitely.
let's let him talk about that. Was traditional bioprinters. Let's let him talk about the. Let's go to where they talk about cell positioning, because the acoustic wave technology and whatever. Let's get into like getting further into it, because it is complicated, but not. I mean, like not first layman's. Yes, but here we
Without
go.
this
Here we go.
organization, bioprinted tissues often fail to function as they should, leading to ineffective models for testing or research. But speed is another critical
Yes.
improvement. Unlike conventional bioprinters that require hours to produce even small structures, this new bioprinter completes the process in seconds, 350 times faster than previous methods. It prints directly onto standard lab plates.
In seconds. Think about that. If we can get one of these in every single country, and we can get funding for them to be used, we can keep so many people alive and healthy. Unfortunately, I feel like this is going to be one of those things where you're going to have a lot of money to be able to use it in certain places for a hot minute, but at least at least we're going to be able to help people. Hopefully, I mean, I know, I get it.
Avoiding the need for fragile and time-consuming transfers that can damage the tissue structure. This new approach keeps the tissues sterile and intact, preserving their structural integrity. The bioprinter's speed doesn't just save time, it increases cell survival rates as well. Faster printing means cells aren't exposed to prolonged handling or.
Yeah, and like what is it when you like take an organ and you're trying to like take it from a dead person to get it transplanted into a person? You have like hours, 2 hours or something. So like this now, hopefully somebody can have organ failure at a burst appendix or something, right? And then they can hopefully, with the right health care, get this printed and then put it into you as soon as possible.
Stress, which is essential for creating viable, realistic tissue models. This is especially important for delicate structures such as neural tissues or cartilage. So, what does this mean for medicine and research? Well,
and you know where this is going to go since they just said the cartilage thing. Athletes, Olympians, football players, the European, well, it's obviously going to go to the rich and famous first, which is going to be if they can do cartilage reconstruction and bone, they are going to do this to sports players, and like sports players are going to be able to be never have to take time off. They're going to be on the court, on the field, on the whatever, with like barely any downtime. Like they'll probably have one of these at in the locker room, and like somebody breaks a bone, they just go in there and they just like reprint something and fix it up, and then never mind. I don't know, but that's where it's going to go first, is sports.
Well, let's start with disease modeling. By accurately replicating human tissues, scientists can now create disease models that closely mirror how diseases impact specific organs. For example, imagine a researcher studying Alzheimer's disease using a 3D printed brain tissue model. They can observe how the disease affects brain cells, offering.
Okay, so I may have talked over some of this, but what they're talking about right now is disease modeling, right? So what they can do is they can 3D print a brain, nervous systems, veins, arteries, and then they can test in laboratory conditions these things, right? So if they have a new drug or something that's trying to clear arteries from fatty tissues or something, they can literally like make that thing a 3D model of it from printing it, and then they can run scenarios through it instead of using humans to test animals, or doing it where they need a large scale thing, right? They can do this in very, very small instances. So they can make a neuron or a synapses. Anyways, it doesn't matter. And they can put them in this like little tray, and they can do different things to all of them, right? And then they can test it and see what happens, blah, blah, blah. So it's also for testing, not having to have humans and or animals being tested. So it's another way to have fake testing on organic material that is not of human and or animal origin per se.
Bring deeper insights into its progression. Pharmaceutical companies could also benefit enormously. Right now, drug testing often relies on animal models which don't always translate well to human biology. With this bioprinter, researchers can create realistic human tissue models to test drug compounds, giving a much more accurate prediction of how a drug might interact with human cells. And then there's the field of personalized medicine. Doctors could take a patient's own cells and use the bioprinter to replicate tissues that match their unique genetic makeup.
And that's kind of what we were talking about with the cancer vaccines as well. Is it's almost the exact same thing. You can take somebody's personal tissue and you can build something and you can test it on there first, and then see if it works or not. And then also, there's their own freaking heart. They literally can give you like pretty much your own organs again through using your own personal, I'm going to say DNA signature, just because like, just some more personalized to your DNA, and so your body's not going to reject it, and hopefully it's closer to the one that you have in your body. And so it fits better because a handful of sideshow artists have died swallowing swords because the sword bumped up against their heart while it was beating, and it actually bruised their heart. And I know that seems a weird comparison or an example, but say your heart is too big and you're swallowing food, it can do that as well. So you want your heart to fit into your body cavity that you have so that it doesn't go through trauma, either being too big or too small. Because one of the things about really, really large humans is their organs fail because their body can't take having to use those organs filtering, like lungs, the heart, liver, and some of the other filtering organs, because they're too big for how gravity works with the oxygen levels and the balance of all of those. So pretty much we get this, right? We understand this. So now I think the Mar-A-Lago robot dogs are next. So I didn't explain this 100%, but Mar-A-Lago is using police security robot dogs to patrol Mar-A-Lago estate, since he has had his fake assassination thingy-mabobbers, because I still think the first one was like not really, I mean, it was technically, but I mean, come on, dude. Nothing happened to his goddamn motherfucking ear. And the second one definitely was just a weirdo who got close, but I don't think it was an attempt 100%, and or he did not even get a shot off. So beep. And then the third thingy that supposedly, anyways, it doesn't matter. But
You'd
this is
want
what
to
they're doing.
reprogram the shit out of them, though, wouldn't you? Attack the orange fella.
Yes, totally.
That's what I would
Yes.
do. I'd reprogram the shit out of them.
Well, you will see what the FBI does with these dogs. But anyways, here we go. So the FBI has done this to help them so they don't have to use as many humans to watch over the orange dumbass.
Doing surveillance. Yeah. So there it is. It looks like it's actually walking around.
So now Mar-A-Lago just has these dog things just walking around the perimeter of Mar-A-Lago estate, even if he's there or not, because I guess they have to give Melania, or they have to give, well, there's a lot of people that are like diplomats and or government people around Mar-A-Lago all the time. So they have to have the FBI being watchful of it, so nothing happens, right? So this is the way that they can not have a gazillion and a half fucking people walking around the fucking big ass area that Mar-A-Lago is in the Americas to take up making sure other diplomats and or public figures, officials, and people in the government are being safe as well. So is that all the thingies? Okay, so I know we didn't get to mutated plastic rocks. We're gonna go over this, and then we'll go over the next thingy mabobbers. But I didn't know this was a thing until this morning. Melted plastics have become intertwined with rocks on the remote turtle refuge. Located 1,000 kilometers from, but now, okay, I think she's gonna talk now. Okay, thank you for talking, lady. There we go.
Nós fizemos análises químicas para identificar que tipo de
Okay, well, I still have to read this anyway. That's okay. We ran a chemical analysis on these rocks they found, and they found that they have plastics in them. They found samples with natural rocks that had this plastic embedded in them. So now there is microplastic rocks. And that's what these are. Through the ocean, these have become a new thing through being embedded with plastics and rocks for so long that they're now embedding themselves into each other. That's the fishing net. See, the fishing nets of the sand and rocks and salts have all mixed together, and them rubbing themselves together have turned into a new form of what some people are calling a fossil. So now we have plastic fossilization of rocks, or I don't know, because again, it's the transfer of certain materials and chemicals that make the blah 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 transfer, like how fossils are made, and we're now seeing that with plastics. So now that we've gotten into that, let's talk about, because that was called I'll get into that in just a second as soon as I open up. Let me do it here. The last thingy of the mabobbers, I think. And this is where we talk about a company making plastic waste into a marble-like substance that they are using to build buildings, or use as a building material. And so this was the article that I read to springboard me into looking up the plastic rocks or plastic fossils. Matters on how you look at it. So anyways, architects experiment with marble-like building material made from old cars, waste plastic that could be made to seem more valuable. So what they're doing is they're taking the plastic hiding under your car's dashboard, and they're making it into a new material called post-rock. So they're turning your interior panels into a quarried from an alien world like thing. That's what the Fast Company says. So the University of Michigan architects, these people have made a black panels are marbled with striking orange veins, but don't let their parents tell you it's actually made of melted down plastic waste from Detroit's automotive industry. And if you don't know, Detroit's automotive industry was huge. I believe that's like one of the first or second largest automotive industry, where they built all the cars and all the accents for the cars and all the parts and tires and all the things before we sent them to other places around the world, because of, I think it was Reagan who started it, and then Bush, and then Trump, but anyways, we'll talk about that later. So what they're doing, is they're taking these things and making them into giving them a new life to materials that otherwise end up in landfills. And yes, that's what we need more of, is things like this, to where we can take them and turn them into things. So instead of the Detroit's automotive sector staggering 300,000 tons of annual plastic waste, now you can take these things and you can turn them into a plastic that was inspired by the plastic omegrates, and that's exactly what we were just looking at, and that's what they're called, plastic glomerates, which is a composite rock formed in the ocean from waste plastic and sand. That's what we were just looking at, was those plastic rocks, and they looked at those and said, wait, we can take this and we can make our own version of this material from doing this, which is taking plastic and sand and mixing them together to make their own version of a marble, is what they're comparing it to. So they're using heat and robotic arms to take the automotive plastics, specifically polymidrites, used in dashboards and the wire covering, to turn it into a fire-resistant building material. So they're already using the plastics that people use, and they're meeting strict building safety standards as well by using them, because they're already safely standard blah blah things and stuffs. So let's see. So they're just using recycled panels, like we said. So instead of mining new materials, they're just using things and stuff that are already here. Turn off, you twat. Okay. Let's see. That's pretty much it. There we go. That's it. So let me just double check that we went through everything. I think we went through everything. We totally did. Awesome. Sweet. So let me just double check to see if I had anything else on the table, and it looks like no. It looks like that was everything. So, all right, folks. Tomorrow we'll be doing a not happy, but a Turkey Death Day stream. We're gonna go over like the history of the early Americas a little bit, and then we'll just do a bunch of silly stuff, and we'll play games for sure. So we'll see you all tomorrow. Thank you all very much for being here. Please, everybody, like, subscribe. If you've not, make sure that you are. Double check if you think you're subscribed, and hit the bell notifications. And if you could, if you don't mind, please share or watch this again, or watch streams that you have not watched on this channel, because that always helps with the algorithm. So everybody say thank you, because we get the fuck out of here.
Thank you, everyone. Get the fuck out of here. Brainless fell asleep, obviously.
Yep. Bye.
Bye, everyone.